We are now in the era where some music being pitched for TV and film sync licensing opportunities or to production music libraries is AI generated. And I have definitely had some pitched my way. And I also know that as these AI tools become more and more available to us as composers, as producers, there's going to be some curiosity as to how many of these can I use or which ones are going to be acceptable. And this is a video to help you steer clear of getting yourself blacklisted in the industry, maybe getting sued, getting into legal problems, or just leaving a sour taste in the mouth of your library partners that you work with, okay? So right now you can use all different types of tools to generate vocals, generate music, generate lyrics, generate all kinds of interesting things using generative AI tools. There's so many out there. Before you use any of them in your production music, now obviously my channel is specifically talking about production music that you're going to pitch off to a production music library or a supervisor or anybody in a commercial sense. Before you use any of those tools and pitch your music, always ask and always be transparent about what you're doing. If you think you can compose the music, go use some AI voice generator, throw it on top of your track, send it off to a library, and tell them, oh, that's me singing, or it's my girlfriend if it's a female voice, and she's fine. She doesn't need to sign off on anything. We're fine. If you're trying to get cute with things, you're trying to be sneaky with things, that's where you could potentially get into some big problems. So because this is so new, this technology is brand new, even just vocal generators, even if it claims on their website royalty free, you're clear to use this stuff. I don't know if I have confidence to know for sure that anything being generated by AI right now is going to be safe, because I don't think that anything generated by AI will be ruled to be able to be copyrighted. So how much effort do you have to put into an AI, model to create something that is copyrighted on the end? That's also nebulous. So while we're in this kind of uncertain time in uncharted waters, it's best to talk to your library partner, okay, about what you're going to be doing. One thing I would say definitely just forget about, don't even do it, is trying to use one of these models where you prompt in something and it generates an instrumental track or even an instrumental track with vocals and thinking you're going to pass that off to a production music library. Don't do it. Libraries will probably be able to hear it very quickly. As of today, this video, models are good. They're very impressive, but there are telltale signs that we can hear, especially those of us that are spending all day listening to production music. We can tell something is off and it's not quite human. So I've heard that from a few people. I'm kind of disheartened to hear it, but some people have thought that, and it's going to happen regardless of what I say. People are going to think that they can just go generate albums and albums worth of music with these models, pass it off to a library, and think that they're going to have a career doing that. I'm here to tell you, you might get away with it for a while, maybe. I don't know. But in the long run, boy, are you going to be paying for it. Karma will come back. And so I'm just highly, highly recommending and discouraging any of you guys from doing something like that. But when it comes to other tools, right, specifically vocals, specifically maybe even something that you type in something and it generates like a guitar lead for you or something like that, where it's like you're throwing something that's been created by an AI generative model onto your track that you've made. It's fuzzy, right? It's gray area. The rest of the track may be copyrighted, but the thing that you had generated isn't copyrighted. Always talk to your library partners. That's all I can say. Just tell them exactly what you're thinking about doing. Give them a link to the tool. Show them, here's what I want to do. Here's how it's capable. Here's their end user license agreement. Are you comfortable with me adding this or using this tool in my music? Chances are, most times libraries right now are going to say, no, we don't know where this is going to go. We don't think that's going to be a safe move. We don't know where that's going to put us in a couple of years if we have all this new music that has AI generated stuff in it, and that's going to jeopardize the copyright of that music and the power and the value of that music in the future. Chances are, spoiler alert, most libraries are going to say, stay clear of all this kind of stuff. It's sort of similar for a different reason, but similar why a lot of libraries are saying don't use pre-made loops, and why I've told you guys stay away from pre-made melodic loops, right? Maybe not so much drum loops or something like that. Certain instances where that's probably not a good idea. But definitely like a full vocal melody or a full lead, a synth lead or string lead or guitar lead or something like on Splice or one of these sites where it's like it's just a full melody ready to go, and you're just throwing it into your track. Even though you legally can do it and user license says you can do it, it can open up a can of worms for frivolous lawsuits, for confusion as to who wrote the song and where it came from and all this kind of stuff. And also, above and beyond all these legal concerns, we need to be focusing right now not on mass producing as much music as we possibly can using these tools, but be creating meaningful music that really exemplifies and represents us as a human being. That is actually going to be our value in this industry moving forward. So even if your output has to go down a little bit, which I think right now it probably should be, we should be being much more thoughtful and getting much more in tune with that core energy that we have to give to our music, not thinking about what can just speed it up as fast as possible, because AI will always outcompete you in that department. Fast, cheap, easy, throwaway music, you can't compete with an algorithm. Never. You never will be. But you got to hold on to your strength, and your strength is your unique twist, your unique style, your lyrics that you write, your melodies that you write, your chord progressions, your structure to your track, the way that you really want to express yourself creatively within the bounds of production music is where your value is going to be now and in the future. So just a PSA, just a fair heads up, fair warning. I know people are going to try to get sneaky with all this kind of stuff, and I don't want to see you guys burn bridges with high quality companies and high quality people because you try to take a shortcut. Transparency, always the best policy. They'll never, I don't think, I can't imagine they would ever go like, we're done with you because you even asked if you're going to use an AI model. As long as you're coming to them full transparency saying, hey, this is the value I think this tool can add to my music, I'd like to chime in on here. They might be open to it. You never know. But I think they're always going to appreciate that you just asked them first and didn't try to sneak it in like a Trojan horse, into the music and hope that nobody noticed in the end. So anyways, for what it's worth, those are my thoughts on that. We're in weird new times, but I think it's definitely cause for us to be much more transparent with our library partners about how we're making the music that we're making.